Hey fellow gamers, it's Cozy now. I'm here with another Palia video for you. Today, I have just now gotten up this morning. My 8 hours are over of building time, and the 2 rooms that I added to the side of my house are finished. So now I have gone into my H menu and I opened up the walls. So instead of having an opening like the one you see here, that's kind of between the main area of the house and this little small bedroom, instead it's wide open all the way through. So you have sight lines all the way across. Now, like I said, this is something people might not know at the beginning, and it's done in your H menu. And this is another difference. You will automatically have small windows when you build a room, but you can change them to large windows in your H menu if you would rather have some large picture windows, or to no windows at all. So the way this is done is on my harvest house, I can push the edit button and you will see that you can have this type of wall if you would like, or you can have a small one like this opening. So if I click that, it removed some of my decorations and sent them to storage. The usual. And then you can go back in the house and see that I now have a small opening. So if this is a private area, say a bathroom or possibly even a bedroom, that you would like to have a little bit smaller opening, you can do that. And then if you would like to have a fully open, you can do this. So it just depends on what you're doing with that area of your house. And now my harvest house is 3 large rooms wide, which was about all the money I could spend right now, on a fairly low level character. Because these are about $10,000 per room, and you buy them at City Hall. And then they will appear over here in your items. And then you can add them to your house. Now, I've also gone ahead and changed my windows to large size in my additions on each end, but I can always go back and change that if I want to. Okay, so I have random furniture because what I've been doing is learning the furniture one set at a time, and you always start out with log cabin and then kind of work your way up through some of the other styles. And so I have rather random furniture at this point in time. There's not a whole lot that I can do, but I don't know. Perhaps maybe we could change the wall colors, see if there's something we like better. Maybe brighten things up a little bit. We might change the floor. And if I'm going to keep the open sight lines, then I'm probably going to use the same floor throughout. So I will go ahead and switch the floor so that it all matches all the way across. Now, if I have a limited or smaller opening, then a lot of times I can, go ahead and put a different floor in that room, and it still flows nicely. It won't make any difference. And then choosing colors, I don't have that many wallpapers yet because you get those as you give out gifts to NPCs. If you give someone a gift, they might come to your house and give you a gift. And right now, I'm not sure what I want to do. We're just kind of starting out, and we'll decide as we go along, whether it's something that we like or not. Maybe in the next video, people come over from the community and they might just change everything around. Who knows? But for today, we're just going to put the furniture that I've had to make in order to upgrade my furniture crafting somehow or another in our house. So, okay, if we decide that we want to put the kitchen over here, we're going to probably keep the same sort of configuration because this is a main cooking kitchen for me, and it's where I will be doing most of my cooking. And so it's not just for show, it actually has to work well. So we might decide that we want to go ahead and set it up to where two people could cook together and still both fit and kind of, be able to help each other out and have a little bit of flow. And I think I'll go ahead and see if I can make my second oven. Oh, good. Okay, so I have the ingredients I need to make that second oven. Because as you start learning your recipes, you will find that you are eventually going to have two of every item. So I'm, working my way up to that as kind of a low-level character here to where I would have two stoves and two prep stations and two ovens, kind of thing, because at some point in time, you're going to need to be able to do that. You will even have some recipes that come up that have two mixing stations. I don't know if it's because I'm right-handed or, uh, just the way that I normally set things up. Somehow I always seem to do an L-shaped kitchen, and I kind of set it up right to left a little bit. And it works out well for me. I have a really hard time cooking in the game because I have some trouble with my hands. My hands have some issues with jerking and arthritis and things. And so people who have watched my cooking video, they just, they laugh along with me because I miss constantly. It's pretty sad. But anyway, I will set things up to try to be really close together so that I have enough time to make it from one station to the next and get finished because I will tend to run out of time just because I miss a lot. So it helps me to have things close together and to kind of go right to left. And then if I have somebody come over and we're both prepping, this way we aren't in each other's way, but we can still see what the other one's doing, because sometimes that comes up in a recipe where you've got 10 things to prep and your friend that comes over, your community member, they might be doing the onion and you're doing a pepper, and then the next thing is a carrot. Well, you might both start doing the carrot when you only need one. So you kind of keep an eye on each other, and that's a little bit easier if you set your kitchen up in a way that, you're kind of close to each other. So this is not a kitchen for doing things like cake parties or whatnot. It's just a basic kitchen where you're going to cook. Now, I've also found, and I don't know if this has happened to any of the rest of you, that if I put a hanging light fixture over in the actual cooking area, there are times when you will hit, say, the F button in front of the stove or whatever, because you want to take the item off the stove that you just finished cooking, or you want to take it out of the oven. You just finished baking the bread and you want to take it out of the oven. And sometimes, if you have a hanging light fixture that's right there, it'll turn the light on and off because that's also done with the F key. So you could stand there and turn the light off and on for 4 or 5 seconds before you realize you're not getting your burning bread out of the oven. Don't ask me how I know that. I've just heard that could happen. Anyway, a little tip for you is you might not want to put a hanging light right above your stoves and ovens in the kitchen, so you know that you don't end up getting an off and on situation going on. Now, another thing that goes on with this is you can turn off the grid. So sometimes the grid might stop you, and you really wanted to put your chair tucked in a little bit, but it turned red and it won't let you. You have to back up and put it here. But sometimes if you hit on your PC anyway, you hit the Z to turn off the grid, and then you might be able to move your chair in just a little bit more. See there? That's where you wanted to put it, and it let you when you are not using the Z menu. So then you can kind of tuck your chairs in so they're not so much in the walk through flow, but they still look like a nice kitchen with tables and chairs. So there you go. So now these are homestead chairs, log cabin table, and log cabin chairs on 2 of them because I was trying to make some pieces from both of those sets. So that's how that came together. And this log cabin piece right here, it's kind of quite common for people to use this as, oh, you know, like a kitchen island sort of, or a little bit of a divider between, say, you know, your kitchen and the rest. Maybe like a countertop would be if it turned or whatever. And then the bug, as far as the bug goes, I really like the dragonflies. This is a brush tail dragonfly. So if you get dragonflies in star level, you can actually put them in the little aquariums and put them in your house. And when you do, they will flutter just a little bit inside their little aquarium. And so I don't tend to set up one room that's full of nothing but bugs or something like that. I think that's cool when people do that, but I don't tend to do that myself. I tend to go ahead and mix them in. So I'll just put maybe a couple of bugs in the kitchen. There might be bugs in the living room and the bedroom. You never know. I just mix them in. But we're just kind of moving things around. Like I said, I don't have a lot of stuff right now, and I am not going to use resources to make a lot of things at this point in time. I'm just gonna use some things like this. This is an item that I got from Zeki's Magic Cube, and it's a magic gumball machine, I call it, in the store where you can go turn in your coin that you get from him. So I thought, well, I can go ahead and put that in the kitchen. And I also have a rake that holds plants that kind of looks nice in a kitchen. That came from fishing. So that's one of the things that you can get if you are doing some fishing and catch one of those waterlogged chests. That's one of the items. There's also a little cuckoo clock that came from the gumball machine or the lucky box, whatever you want to call it, at Zeki's store. And I can put that on the wall. And you can see the little symbol on the front of it that's like a sunrise. It's a little tiny circle on the front of that that depicts a sunrise. That's because Zeki's set of furniture that you can get in his lucky box is called Valley Sunrise. I don't know how I feel about animal heads, but I do have a couple of them from hunting. So I guess I will go ahead and put them on the wall, and I'll decide if I want to move them out at some later date. But right now, I'll go ahead and put them on the wall. And just for the sake of balance, I'm going to go ahead and put my other knife set up over here. And then I think I'll put my pots and pans, if they will fit, maybe up above the window. I know that's not a place where you'd be able to reach them in real life, but I just wanted kind of the look of, yeah, like coming from the other rooms, seeing the pots and pans. It's a nice little look that you've got a kitchen going on there. And that the nice thing about this game is they have done so much to make it fun for you to create and decorate, because you can put these things in and at some point in time you change your mind and just move them around like crazy. So it's kind of fun that nothing has to stay where you put it. You can move it anytime you want to and rearrange everything. And that's kind of fun. Gives you the chance to switch it up whenever you are bored. You can just change things up and make it look a little bit different. Suit your mood that day or that week. Some people like to switch them up 4 times a year, quarterly, switching them up with the seasons, maybe with the holiday decorations, something like that. So this game gives you that opportunity because they really do offer you quite a few things that you can use to make a nice little area. This little table is another thing that came out of the Lucky Box. Um, I'm not sure where, like I said, where I'm going to end up putting anything in the long run, because I haven't made a lot of furniture yet. It's really limited by how much money, gold, resources that I have right now, so, because I've been doing the quest lines. So when you're kind of concentrating on getting the quest lines finished, then you're not, spending enough time making furniture for your house, so to speak. But it'll come. There'll come a time when this house will be decorated just great. This is a nice little thing too. Sometimes when you build your house, if it's close enough to a little tree or a little bush, part of that will snap through on your wall. And I like that. And if you don't have any that did that, you can always plant some trees once you get some seeds. And when you plant your trees, then if you plant them close enough, some of the leaves might come through the wall and just give you a nice little area where you can see the greenery coming in from outside. It's an effect that a lot of people really like in this game. I'm going to stick a couple of decorative things on this shelving unit that we happen to have. We have this Choppa mug and the little daisies that Tish gave us, and a boot that's the makeshift boot. So this was also from fishing. So that kind of fills that in. And then sometimes you'll have an item that's obviously going to go anywhere. So we have this bowl of fruit that we made at our workbench, and it will pretty much go on anything that you can stack something on. So if you have a treasure chest or a table or a nightstand, you would be able to put that there. However, there are other things in the game that are not as friendly about where you can put them. So they might be only on the ground, um, or on the floor, or they might be only on dirt, like they have to be outside. So you never know. Like this planter, which is a little choppa planter, it can be indoors or outdoors, and it can be anywhere on the floor, but you can't put it on this table, even though you can sit other things on this table. So it's one of those things that has to be placed on the floor. However, there is another makeshift planter that you get from fishing, and it's larger and it's kind of round, and it is not available to be put in the house at all. It won't place down. If you try to place it on a floor inside the house, it will only go on the packed earth or grass or dirt, that's obviously outdoors. So that's just another little thing to keep in mind. What we did when we set up this bedroom on the last video was we just sort of put things in here, um, mix and match, not matchy matchy. And it kind of, it's a little bit of everything. It's what we have to use right now, and so it's in there. I'm just not sure I'm liking, um, maybe this screen in there. I can't really decide where I want to put it, so we're just gonna have to move it around until we decide if we like it or not. But there are a couple of things in here that might go better somewhere else in the house. So, that's the nice thing you can do is move things around until you get what you want. And this is a funny little tidbit that you might not notice right at first. I have a nightstand from every collection of furniture that I'm allowed to make so far. Have you noticed that? There are a lot of little nightstands in my life. That's because it's generally the cheapest recipe. So if it's time for you to learn a new um, furniture group, and Tish sends you a letter and says, "Well, I've got some new furniture I think you'll like. If you come over, I'll let you purchase a recipe." And you go over there and you find out that the recipes, there might be three of them, and one of them might be $1,000, one might be $1,500, and you're kind of short on gold, and one of them might be $500 or 150 gold or something, and it's almost always going to be a chair or the nightstand. So that is how come you will always see in my house that I have a nightstand from every collection, because it's the cheapest way to get going. Because once you do get going, like say you make the nightstand, you will have inspiration. And that inspiration will let you choose one of three items out of the cloud, that gives you the next piece of furniture in that collection to make. So that way you don't end up having to purchase those other recipes sometimes. Sometimes those other recipes will come to you free of charge and you'll never have to buy them from Tish. So I like to kind of see, what I can get um, on my own making the furniture and what I can get out of having to purchase from Tish. Now, here's another little tip. If you have something to stand on, you can stand on a chair or a table or whatever, and you'll be able to get things to go on your higher up bookshelf. But if you don't have anything to stand on, you can just lower the bookshelf, lower it down to where you can get some items placed on it. And then once you have some things placed on it that you like and you like the way that it looks, you can put it back up. So you just sort of do a little finagling till you get what you like, and then pick up the bookshelf and move it back up to the height that you originally had it. So some people have asked me questions in my community and whatnot and said, "Hey, Mel, it won't let me put anything on my higher up bookshelves." And it will let you, but you might have to have a chair or a table or something right here that you can stand on so you can get high enough to put things up there. Or, like I just did, move it down, and then you can go ahead and put some items on it, and then put it back where you want it, so that's up to you. I tried this in the bedroom, didn't really like it, and when you're going around trying to do the decorating, you're going to come across things that you feel like you need to move and try someplace else. It's just kind of the way it goes. But I do like it a little bit better there, and once I have something to put on it, I probably would like it even better. We'll see. I don't have, of course, as I said, all of the furniture I would like to have. So we're sort of limited on how much we're going to get done today. But it's just a way to show you that even if you don't have very much furniture yet, when you first expand your house, and it's very possible that having to spend 10,000 on this room and 10,000 on that room, that's 20,000 gold. That might be every bit of what you had at that point in time, that, you are going to be limited on how much furniture you can make until you go out and do another foraging run, because you also had to put 80 pieces of sapwood planks in. You had to put 30 or 60 rocks in, rock bricks that you make with rocks. And so you might kind of be low on resources. You might have used a lot of your resources to make the furniture that you do have already, in order to level up. And so it's okay. You don't have to have your entire house decorated to the nines the first day. You can just take your time and do it as time goes by, and as you gather things, and as you fish them up and whatnot. So eventually you will have enough things to kind of make a nice looking place. But right now we're just starting out, and all the rugs in your home have to be purchased from Zeki, because we don't have the ability to make rugs on our workbench other than this holiday festive item that we were able to get from the Choppa pile. And if you were lucky, you got the item and the recipe for making the items. So now I can make these rugs if I want to. I haven't needed to make any because I've gotten so many out of the actual Choppa pile themselves, So I have quite a few of these holiday festive rugs. And right now, that's all I've got. So right now, they're, what we can use. Someday, when I have, loads of money to spend on whatever I want to spend it on, I'll be able to go to Zeki's store and buy down in the basement in this little secret stash, and buy some nice rugs to put out. But for right now, this is what we have, so that's what we're using. Okay, I think we have pretty much brought everything in, except we have lots of chopper rugs, and I don't need that many chopper rugs. So I won't be bringing all those in yet. And I'm kind of thinking in the next video, I'll see what people want to see. I may go ahead and set up a workshop in this room. And then that way I can add bedrooms and bathrooms as I get enough gold to do so. But I could already have a workshop built in here, and I could put a porch door, say, maybe where this window is, or a porch door here on the end for going in and out to my workshop, and possibly even a fireplace, just to warm things up and see how it looks. But I have to have gold to purchase those items at the city hall. Okay, so that is what we have done so far, and hopefully that helped you in some way to figure out what you might be able to do to decorate your home. And don't forget that you can also use the wallpaper on the outside of your house anytime that you desire. So I can pick out a wallpaper from what I have been given, and it was Christmas themed up here, but I can pick a different wallpaper and go ahead and use it on the outside of the house too. And once you have money, extra money to spend, and you can start buying some of the wood siding wallpaper that Tish sells, or maybe some of the fancy moving parts wallpaper that Zeki sells in his secret basement store for 25,000 gold for one wallpaper, then you can really do some neat things on the outside of your house. But you don't have to have that. This is free wallpaper that is comes to you as a gift from the NPCs. And I think it's cute. You can make a really cute house just by using those free colors of wallpaper that you're given, or the special wallpapers that you find if you do the hidden quests. So if you want to do hidden quests to get free flooring and free wallpaper patterns, go find my videos. I have a whole list on Melody Rose Games at YouTube of I think at least 6 or 7 hidden quests that you can do, and some of them reward you with a special wallpaper or a special flooring that you can't get anywhere else in the game. So that's kind of a fun thing to have. Anyway, I hope this has helped you in some way or another. It looks to me like I've got a garden that's ready to be picked and get those weeds out of here, and I better get back to work. So I hope you will like and subscribe and ring that bell so you know when I drop a video. And I hope that you guys will enjoy this one, and I will see you in the next one.